All right, tech support issue I think is taken care of. So, oh, JPC's checking in, says get a move on. Okay, well, fair enough. I will. Let's let's get this thing going. Got already fuel loaded in. Have our flight plan loaded in as well. Just take a second and turn things on. JPC flying with. Oh man, I can't wait to watch that. Oh, where were we? We're going to get things started here. Let's see. Parking brake is set. Fuel selector is on. Power lever, prop lever, condition lever all idle or cut off. Master battery on. Going to turn the beacon on. Auxiliary fuel pump on. Ignition switch on. And starter to low motor. We're going to watch and let this thing spin up to 14%. All right. Fuel condition lever to low idle. Keep an eye on the ITT. It's topping out 688. That's awesome. And we have a good start. All right, starter switch can come off. Ignition off. Prop lever pull forward. Auxiliary and aviation buses on. Generator on. Alternator on. We are just about ready to go here. 2280 is set. CDI is on GPS mode. Yes, we are going to be flying using the magenta line today. It's kind of a friendly request, I guess.
Blue route 7,500, Grand Canyon Drive.
So we're gonna abide, and hopefully it'll work out well. What do we have down here? Do we have anything? Looks like we maybe have it loaded up. I don't know. We're gonna find out. Yeah, it's all this business right here is loaded up. Somebody was nice enough to take the time to make it all. So, you know, I guess we can fly it.
Grand Canyon West traffic, Centurion 1210 Zulu Alpha, lining me up 17.
Okay. Frequencies tuned. It's uncontrolled. We have our flight plan filed. Our altimeter. I would take another look at the weather here. I keep getting bumped off of X-Pilot as well. What else is new? X-Pilot loves me. It's not bumping me off. It's giving me a CSL error and making me crash. Or completely crash at X-Plane. 2986. Let's adjust that. Pretty close to where we were. Altitude, we're going to set the altitude. The first altitude needs to be 7,500. Ooh, it was already in. Very good, very good.
Grand Canyon West traffic says
And
we'll
set the heading. Actually, we're pretty close to where we should be heading right now. And alright, nav, taxi lights can come on. I'm not going to put any anti-icing on right now. Check the brakes here. Still have the chocks on. Nope. Alright, brakes are working. How about that sound on the Kodiak? Totally awesome. Totally awesome. We have quite a mix of pilots tonight as far as the different aircraft they're flying. As you saw, we've got downwind sim in the turbo water. I think we have a TBM. We've got also some twin propeller jets. Part of the flight that I think is going to be really interesting is the fact that there are some altitude restrictions as well as airspeed restrictions. And so in the climb, you have to be able to maintain 110 indicated, and in the descent, can't go over 130. So that's why partly why I chose the Kodiak. The Kodiak's maybe a little overpowered for what we're doing here, but I think that's not a bad thing. The other reason I chose the Kodiak is it has the high wing, which I think if you were flying tourists around, you'd want to have the high wing just for visibility. There's a Centurion we heard. That's pretty cool. Our fearless leader Mike Sonante is down in the run-up area, and he is essentially got the stopwatch going and is timing everybody, spacing them out at 2-minute intervals so that we don't get on top of each other. So that should be fun to listen to the radio calls. There's some check-in calls we have to make from point to point, place to place. We'll see how well I do there. I do have the briefing up on the other screen. I have went through it a couple times.
Traffic Arrow 9 Juliet Whiskey, Bat Cave, Blue Route 7,500.
There's the Turbo Arrow. I almost flew that. In fact, I practiced the route once in the Turbo Arrow, and it did pretty good. It just, the initial climb out on that plane is a little bit slow. But the other reason, again, I didn't do the Arrow is just because it has the low wing.
November 410 Hotel Alpha, Pierce Canyon, 7,500 feet, Blue Route.
All right, 7,500 feet at Pierce Canyon. That's the drop-in point.
Pierce Canyon, 7,500 Blue Route.
So that's, those guys are getting into the fun stuff. And
Number 317 Bravo Golf, Pierce Canyon, 7,500 Blue Route.
I may have to go back over to the Discord voice room just to get the okay from our marshaller that we can depart. So let me pop those guys on here.
5 knots over maybe and break the rules a little bit to get that space again. Unless you're already pedaling as fast as she'll go.
Hey, we actually timed that pretty well. We got one lined up,
Yeah, I
got
gave it,
one guy waiting.
I was holding
There
at
is
like
Mike.
115, so I'll see if I can get up to
So
120.
we only have a couple minutes
Zach,
and then
you
we'll be
can go.
flying.
See if I can get it back to 100.
Yeah, I'm not sure where we are as far as looks like there might be one plane behind us. Does that engine sound too loud? I like it, but I don't want it to be too overpoweringly loud.
Guys, just keep in mind, Alpha 900 Alpha Zulu for the guy that's behind him, which is 21 Delta Alpha. He is text. So just keep in mind that 900 Alpha Zulu is a text pilot. You can.
All right, LA Center. I do need to put that in because
Will do,
he
thanks,
will be
Mike.
our check-in when we get to Grand Canyon Airport, 2580, and
Grand Canyon Centurion, November 7 Papa Mike, separation Canyon 7,500 Blue Route.
blocked. Blockade. All right, we are next. We can get to the holding point. And
Ralph, how you looking?
Grand Canyon Traffic Arrow 9 Juliet Whiskey, Park Canyon, Blue Route 7,500.
should pull Ralph's stream up here. Let's get up here. Let's go through our checks. Make sure we have everything configured. here we go. So glad to have you on board tonight. We can set the flaps. Yep, they're already set. Nav light taxis on. As we take a look at our departure, we're going to be departing basically to the south, runway 21. It looks like we might be able to pick up maybe waypoint SV003. That could potentially be our first one. So we might honestly, may even just kind of come down here. Have that ability. You know, that the center, there's something glitchy about that center display. I'll have that highlighted, and if we, as we get going,
Hey, you're good.
Hotel Alpha Bat Cave,
I'll probably just put direct to waypoint 4.
Grand Canyon West traffic, Cessna Cardinal departing runway 17 VFR departure to the west, Grand Canyon West.
There he goes. Here we come. We're next. Very good, very good.
Brandon, are you making radio call?
Me?
Brent.
Radio check.
There you go.
All right.
5x5. Aircraft calling 5x5. Aircraft calling 5x5.
Sweet.
5x5.
Okay.
7,500.
Oh
Easy,
boy.
easy, boys, easy.
Grand Canyon West traffic. Kodiak 816 lining up runway 21. Grand Canyon West. I had not been.
Easy, children.
I had not been making radio calls. Sorry about that.
That's alright.
We'll meet later.
I just wanted to just want to make sure you were there.
Just say so.
For you when you're ready to go.
November 317 Bravo Golf, Bat Cave 7,500, blue route.
And for you.
All right. So we'll be making a right-hand crosswind departure here,
Yeah, I know.
and climbing at 7,500. Trying to maintain a speed of 130. So the climb speed, we won't quite be there. It's 95 is our climb speed. And, well, I take that back. The en route climb is 110 to 120. So we'll get to 110 at least. We'll climb up there, and we'll try to get things figured out. Here comes Downwind Sim and his Turbo Otter. I don't know what it...
Well, I'm out of the race. I just had an exploit crash.
It's kind of
Oh,
rendering
no.
as a beaver
Oh,
or
no.
Does
something.
that count as an airframe?
No.
Oh, the asterisks.
See, the wind's blowing us around a little bit. What?
You do, Wes. There's still two guys in.
275 at 8.
Cardinal 410 Hotel Alpha, Burnt Canyon 7,500, blue route.
Paul, just be careful. Looks like you're catching the lead aircraft there.
Barely doing 120.
Alright, what I'm going to do, guys, is I'm going to I'll report Grand Canyon National and try to slide back into my slot. So just don't lose my space.
Man of culture, I see.
Brant, you're good.
Grand Canyon West traffic, Kodiak 816, departing runway 21, VFR westbound, Grand Canyon West.
After you, Ralph.
All right, everything full forward.
All right, still
Spool it up.
still getting ready. I'll pull out there in just a minute.
Roger. Yeah, you got 2 minutes. Worst case, you give Brant a little bit extra space. He might need it.
It's true. Careful not to
Well, you know, we were
overtorque.
all thinking it.
Smarty pants.
November 317 Bravo Golf, Burnt Canyon 7,500, blue route.
He's got us muted.
Sliding around a little bit.
Oh,
Whoa,
darn
there
it.
we
I
go.
don't like talking behind his back.
They don't know I'm listening.
Cherry 7 Papa Mike, Diamond Creek 7,500,
Flaps up.
blue route.
And Let's get the speed up. Go ahead and make our turn here to the west.
I'm just coming over Diamond Creek.
We'll get it climbing here westbound, and
Cessna 34 Quebec, map K 7500.
kind of figure out where we want to be as far as our course and all that good stuff. Not used to flying the magenta line in this plane, so it might be a little bit awkward.
Yeah, for Diamond Creek, you see you kind of follow the creek up, and then it intersects
All right,
the creek,
autopilot
and there's
set.
a little plateau just kind of off your right. That's
Our
how you
speed
kinda
looks
recognize it,
good.
that section.
We want to, yeah, so we're wanting to go to probably waypoint 3. Okay, so we're gonna change our heading a little bit, maybe make it more of about a 250-ish. All right, I like our speed. We'll set the vertical speed for right about there, and our altitude is armed, and we can go. We'll just stay on this right now. We'll get leveled off, and let's see. My torque's
Ralph, you're
pretty good. RPMs are a little high.
Thanks, Mike. We'll see you.
Pull the RPMs back just a little.
Grand Canyon West traffic. Turbo Otter 748 Hotel Sierra departing runway 17 to the west. Grand Canyon
Correct.
West.
Enter, and nav mode. All right, we're on it. Now it's just a matter of monitoring our speed, which we're about 125 right now, so that's going to be okay, I think. We'll just kind of keep backing off the torque and leave the RPMs right about where they are, I think, about 2,000. When we're at cruise, we want about 2,000 RPMs. So I don't mind that. We'll slow down even a little bit, give it a little bit of wiggle room here.
Traffic, Skyway for my flight line up for 117.
All right. For Mike Charlie, he's the last guy. That's our boss, Jet Pilot Cinnamon. He's bringing up the anchor leg today. We're fully chartered out. We've got the cargo pod on. We've got the wheel fairings on. And it's going to be a beautiful flight. I tell you what, guys. An incredible place. All right, so we're coming up. This is a little bit of a turn, and we're going to head towards Lake Mead, and then we make our call to actually enter the official Blue Route South. I think I'll just call it Blue Route. I don't know if it's Blue Route South or...
It varies.
I do know we have Blue Direct North and Blue Direct South, but...
Way out ahead.
Well, it's because West dropped and Lucas dropped, so that was 2 guys. So that's now a 6.
Don't take my... All right, so I'm going to mute that for now, just so I can pay attention to my radio calls, because that's going to be the biggest thing here, is hitting the check-in points and then also hitting the altitudes. So this is the Pierce Ferry area that we're currently flying past. And we're heading towards that first check-in point, which is Pierce Canyon.
Grand Canyon traffic, Cessna Cardinal, Pierce Canyon, 7,500.
All right, that's the guy. Cessna Cardinal's right out in front of us, so that's who we're chasing. And I would say he's at least a good 3 miles out in front of us, which is just about right. hope your week was good. Mine was extremely busy but productive. And yeah, overall, been looking forward to this. Kind of took the night off last night and felt a little bit weird not streaming on Thursday, but I had some other stuff going on, and it did give me a chance. We had actually
Grand Canyon West traffic, Skywagon 124, Mike Charlie, departing runway 17, right cross for departure, Grand Canyon West.
Virtual USA Flying Club club meeting, which was really good. What a great club Mike Sonante's got organized, and awesome bunch of administrators that are really interested in promoting general aviation flying. Let's see, Downwind Sim, is he streaming? I thought he was streaming. I don't see his stream. I do see JPC's going. We can stop in and
Centurion 121 Zulu Alpha over back.
say hello there. Anybody else going here that I know? Good luck to anybody, by the way, that's flying in the southwestern or the southern, what's it called, the FNO tonight, the Southern Showdown or the Southwestern Showdown. That should be a lot of fun. All right, so here we come again. This is the ferry, the, what did I say? Pierce Ferry. And now we're heading across to Pierce Canyon. We'll make our first call. So we were actually more like about probably a good 10 miles behind the Cardinal, which that's actually really good. Yep, and our friend JPC, he's in the Skywagon. Look at that beautiful bird. We'll see if he responds.
Oh, you did hear the smack talk. Well, fair enough. It was meant to be heard. I was just messing with
Oh, it's all good.
you, as you know.
All good. It's part of the deal.
Just playing. We're all friends here. We're all hooligans tonight.
Yes, we are. Yes, we are. That young fella has done a bang-up job with this club, so hats off to him. And if you watch this later on and you're wondering what the heck I'm talking about, the Virtual USA Flying Club, find me on Discord, or at the end of the stream I'll share the link. Starfly's checking in. Hello. How are you doing, Starflies? Happy Friday. It feels like Thursday. I'm so glad it's Friday.
Centurion 121 Zulu Alpha over Bird Canyon 7500 Blue Route.
I got to do my first check-in here. Kodiak 816, Pierce Canyon 7500 Blue Route. All right, there we go. There we go. Starflies, I hope you've had a great week. Hope you're in the air somewhere in the virtual skies. This is your type of route today, Starflies. Starflies is a real-world pilot with an attention to detail. You need to take a look at this sectional if you've never seen it. Go to the Grand Canyon area and look at Grand Canyon Tour Ops. We're flying the blue route south, and then the black route with the west split tonight. It has I think 8 different altitude changes and speed restrictions and the whole works. So with your attention to detail, I would see this as being something really enjoyable. Look at that. There'll be a lot of photo ops tonight, I can tell. That's crazy. familiar with those Grand Canyon special flight rules areas, yeah, this is definitely. I was a little bit against it, but as you can see, I'm chasing the magenta line. That just was, I wouldn't say a mandate for the flight tonight, but it was certainly a strongly suggested component. So I am compliant, and
Grand Canyon traffic, November 21 Delta
that's okay.
Alpha,
Gives us a
back
chance
gate
to look around and see
7500
the
Bluebird.
sights. Do some of those things. It does take a little bit of the stress off. There's no doubt about it. And I'm sure if you were actually leading the tour and you were talking to the tourists about the different parts of the canyon and all that good stuff, if you had one less thing that you had to think about, I imagine that's a good thing. All right, so we're coming up, as you can see here, at waypoint 10. That is called Burnt Canyon, and at that point we will be heading over, crossing from the, I guess, the north rim over to the south rim of the Grand Canyon. And we actually will be just about due north of Grand Canyon West, the airfield that we just departed from. Yeah, I agree, Starflies. And honestly, that was another reason why I picked this plane, is just because it has the avionics that makes it very, very easy. So if you've got it, it's the tool that works best for the job. You might as well break it out. I'm hitting the strawberry lemonade tonight, so I'm all sugared up. This stream still not sponsored by Wendy's, by the way, in case you're keeping track of my lack of sponsorship. Woe is me. All right, there's the airfield that we departed from. By the way, I figured out how to get rid of Mrs. Thranda, so you could actually see over here a little bit. Nice little scenery pack, by the way. If nothing else, that was worth the price of admission. I need to promote this guy because he did a really nice job. Grand Canyon Tour version 2 airfields. I don't know if you know about this guy. I just learned about him when we downloaded this stuff. This is Richard Antone, and he has done a very nice job with these 3 airports: Grand Canyon National, Grand Canyon West. And I haven't went to Papa 52 yet. I haven't checked that one out yet.
Grand Canyon traffic, Turbo Otter 748 Hotel Sierra, 7500 Blue Route.
But
Pierce Canyon.
that's a scenery pack. If you fly in this area, that's a scenery pack I'd recommend going to get. Of course, freeware and all the usual libraries: RA library, Mr. X, 3D people. I might have had to maybe go get 1 or 2. No, I guess I did. CDB library, world models, flags of USA, and the JB library. So anyway, Richard, nice job. Kodiak, yeah, it's a fun one. It is a fun one. All right, we got to make a check-in here. Kodiak 816, Burnt Canyon, 7,500 on the Blue Route. I think I slipped into my Canadian there for a minute. I'll probably slip back and forth between route and route. Just depend. If I'm on the south rim, I'll stay. I'll speak American. If I'm on the north side, I'll go into my Canadian. So Starflies, are you up in the air somewhere tonight? I'm looking to try to see if any of my friends here are also streaming this route. We do have Jet Pilot Cinnamon. I thought Downwind Sim said he was going to, but I don't see him loaded up quite yet. Alright, we'll update the heading bug. Speed staying pretty good. Again, 130 is the max. We have to make sure that we don't exceed that on the descent. 110 is our minimum. We want to make sure that we maintain that on the climbs. We're just about to a spot where we need to start climbing. We're going to get here into the Pierce Ferry section, and at that point we'll start to think about a climb. This is one of those, as soon as we went from Burnt Canyon to the other side and we hit Horse Flat Canyon, we've entered into an IMC area. This is apparently part of the route that you can use if the weather's bad on the other portions, and there's one going back to the westbound on the other side as well. But we are going to, we get down here to the southern edge of this route, we get to Diamond Creek, and at that point in time we need to start a climb, and we need to be up to 9,500 by the time we get back up here, which is back on the blue direct south.
November 124 Mike Charlie, Pierce Canyon, 7,500 Blue Route.
So that's kind of our next thought process, and our next check-in here is, I actually think it is, yep, Diamond Creek. Everywhere there are these little VFR flags.
Grand Canyon traffic, Turbo Otter 748, Hotel Sierra over at Bat Cave, Blue Route.
All right, well, he's over Bat Cave. I think we forgot to report that, actually, darn it. But that's Downwind Sim. He's behind us, so we've got good spacing with the Cardinal in front of us and the Turbo Otter behind us. So that's awesome. That's what you want. And right here is Diamond Creek, so we're in good shape as far as. So far we've made 2 out of 3 radio check-ins, so that's not bad. 67%. It's pretty cool with traffic behind. We're supposed to, or we were hoping to pick up a tower controller at Grand Canyon airfield, but it doesn't look like we're going to. So I believe we're actually controlled via LA Center, and so we're going to actually have to go pop over to LA Center to get our transition through the Delta there at Grand Canyon. But that's a ways down the road here. Alright, I think we're Diamond Creek, ready to start our climb.
Grand Canyon, November 21 Delta Alpha, Spencer Canyon, 7,500 Blue Route.
Kodiak 816, passing Diamond Creek 7,500 on the blue route.
Grand Canyon traffic. Turbo Otter 748 Hotel Sierra.
I keep forgetting to say
passing Burnt
Grand Canyon
on
traffic.
The blue route 7,500.
I keep forgetting to say Grand Canyon traffic. Okay, here we go. Let's vertical speed the nose up a little bit. Probably 1,000 will do us. See how our speed is. I have quite a bit of power I can feed in if I need. In fact, I think I will. Can't go below 110. That was kind of a weird little leg right there. Interesting. Alright, speed's holding pretty well. Kenny Monster checking in. What is up yourself, my friend? Happy Friday, you hooligan. Welcome to Grand Canyon National Park. Trying to be a tour guide today. Look at this view. Not bad. All these mesas and plateaus. Phenomenal country. I've never been here in real life. Can you believe that? 51 years old, I have never been to the Grand Canyon. What kind of a sheltered life have I led? $500 to 9,500. I think we're going to be up where we need to be easily before. Oh, now that I look at this, we started our climb a little bit too soon. Yep, I screwed that up, guys. Let me show you what I mean here. I'll get leveled out, but we started our climb out way too soon. I mean, way too soon. Nothing I can do about it now. Let's make sure we don't make one problem into two. Let's make sure we don't exceed 130. Forgot to turn my strobes on. Put my landing to pulse just to scare the birds off. Okay, we have, you can see on the right hand on the center display, we have a VOR. That's the Peach Springs VOR, and I'll show you why this is a screw up on our part. Here's where Peach Springs is. Here's where Diamond Creek is. So I actually mistakenly thought this little loop here, probably Spencer Canyon, was where Diamond Creek was, and so I'm currently a little higher than I should be. Technically, I can be 79.99 or higher, but I didn't need to be all the way up to 9,500. So, all right, well, there's a little bit of a screw up. Oh, good, yeah. Got that route. Oh, couldn't land at 2 Mike November 6th. Looking forward to checking out that airport. Sounds like the kind of challenge that we need to have. Did you, are you flying, are you in the DC-3 also now? With, I know a couple of guys have been horsing around with that Aeroworks DC-3, or are you still running around that Corsair of yours? Alright. I hear you, 4x5.
This is 748 Hotel Sierra. Yeah, it might have been me then.
Yep, there's Diamond Creek. Right down there, you can kind of see it. Yep, darn it. Alright, well, technically that means that we've now screwed up 2 of the 4 check-ins. So, Kenny, if we were playing for the Twins, I'd be the best guy on the team. I'd be batting 500. But as a charter pilot, yeah, not so good. All right. Well, since we are up at our altitude now, the next thing that we need to do is, what if it'd help me if I zoomed out just a little bit here? Yeah. So we're supposed to be up at 9,500 about right here. This is when we turn and we start to head towards Grand Canyon.
Climbing 9,500.
We're actually done with check-ins now for a little while. Our next check-in actually is when we check in with tower. So we're right down here, kind of flying north up this blue route.
November 11816, I saw that you had passed me. I'll just fall in behind you.
Oh gosh. Oh, I apologize for that. I did not see you. Sorry about that.
No problem.
What? Where is he? Boy, for the life of me, I don't remember seeing him. I wonder if he's confused by my bad check-in. Cardinal, this is 11816. Did you visually see me go by you, or were you just based on the check-in?
8116, I saw you fly right over me.
Yeah, my apologies, sir.
No problem. You did scratch the paint, so we're alright.
All right.
Grand Canyon traffic, Turbo Outer 748, Hotel Sierra.
Where is everybody?
Canyon, 7,500, Blue Route.
Yep, sure enough. Gosh, and I mean, I'm doing 128 right now, but I was even throttled back about 126, 125. Well, that's the whole point of this, is to not pass people. Okay, I am not having a good flight here, guys. Apparently these are the Aubrey Cliffs, according to the sectional. Kind of those that area right there. And boy, for the life of me, I do not see where he is. Kenny, I have been practicing my landings. Yes, I have. We'll see if it pays off. I did fly a little practice loop in this plane yesterday. Actually flew it twice. I flew it in the Turbo Arrow once, and I flew it in this once. And yeah, both landings were okay. See how it plays out today. Alright, so just about to make my turn here again at about whatever this is, 47, 48, kind of waypoint 49. That's where I should, well, where I need to be above 4,000, haha, sorry, 9,500, which I am at 9,500 right now. And we are going to
On the Discord real quick.
Raj. All right, I'm here.
Yep.
Oh,
Grant, since the
How'd you know it
center
was red?
doesn't really want to handle us, at least in the transition, he's going to have no choice if nobody comes on the tower to handle us for the landing, but we're going to have everyone circumnavigate the delta to the south instead of doing the transition, and then just join the blue route after you finish your circumnavigation to the south.
Sounds good. Thanks for the heads up.
Yep.
So, Mike, to be clear, I'm going to swing south before the square and not make that call then at square, right?
Correct. So you'll make the call at the square, or at least beam the square.
Okay, so everything else is pretty much online, but we're going to not worry about bothering LA Center, who probably has 100 aircraft that he's trying to keep track of, which makes perfect sense. November 21 Delta. I got to see who I cut off here. It was Dan.
Number 124, Mike Charlie, Spencer Canyon, 7,500 blue.
Dang it. All right. Now this Kodiak has not been liking these little close together waypoints. It's kind of zigging and zagging me around a little bit here. But essentially, if you kind of are joining me late, we are supposed to. We're going to be inbound on this portion of it's called the Blue Direct South route, and we're going to be coming in here to this area here is called the Square. Here's where we would be checking in with Grand Canyon Tower, requesting a VFR transition eastbound at 8,000. But instead, we're basically gonna come down here and just go south of it. We're just gonna stay, 10 DME or more actually away from. In fact, I think I'll plug that in. I'll plug in the Grand Canyon 13.1, and we'll just make sure we stay like a little DME arc around here and stay. Well, this is 10 miles, so stay 12 to 15 miles around here. And maybe we'll just even maybe we'll just forget about checking in here at 10X Meadow, and we'll just check in here at Grandview Tower. But in the meantime, what we need to do when we get, this is called the Supai sector, and this is South Supai Canyon. You can see we need to be back down 7,500 as we go into there. So as I cross this, I don't know what this canyon's called right here, but as I cross this canyon, that's when I'm going to start my descent back down to 7,500. All right, we're about to make that turn on the Blue Direct South portion of the routes. Approximately 30 miles to the west of Grand Canyon. Ooh-wee, Kenny, I am going to be sugared up, buddy. How much sugar do you suppose is in a large strawberry lemonade from Wendy's? Whew. One can only guess. Please don't Google it, because I'll feel that much worse. All right. Oh, that's gorgeous. Cloud layers. Low-lying clouds. That's awesome.
Grand Canyon traffic. Turbo Otter 748 Hotel Sierra is in spitting distance to Diamond Creek, Blue Route.
Yeah, don't worry.
It's a crick.
It's a crick. It is a crick. Thank you. Thank you. There's a lot of people to watch on a Friday night, Kenny. I totally understand. All right, here's JPC is behind us. He's coming up on Diamond Creek also. Looks like he's got a little different weather than I do. His looks like it's a little bit brighter out. I'm on real time, real weather, active sky, and it's really a pretty nice day overall. I mean, can't complain. But we're picking up some haze a little bit here, so you never know. What's our outside air temp? Yeah, see, we're still 13 above, so we're in great shape. Yeah, yep, that's my normal, but I was a little bit just about streamed last night, but I had a couple of things come up kind of right when I normally do stream, and so I thought, you know what, I'll just take the night off. We'll do a bonus stream today. Kind of the opposite of what I usually do. I usually stream Thursday and kind of just take the night off or fly but not stream on Fridays. That's all right. Okay, so I think have I nope, I'm just kind of around that corner. So I'm looking for this first little finger of a valley to intersect. Actually, we might, as soon as I cross this line, I actually might start the descent. Nope, I got to keep myself up a little bit higher. Maybe at about SV 050 I can start that descent. We've got 7.5 miles or so. Yeah, Kenny. So that we can double check and make sure that you are who you are. We do need your real name just for the registration. You can.
November 124 Mike Charlie, Diamond Creek, 7,500 Blue Ridge.
When you get into the Discord group, you can call yourself. I mean, you can put down whatever name you want. Most of the guys use their real name anyway, but I'm pretty sure. I guess I shouldn't say that without double checking the look at the rules here. The main thing about though getting your real name and your VATSIM ID number is just so that we know that you're a current VATSIM member and you're not just a spammer or somebody just trying to sneak in and cause problems. We have had that a couple times with some guys that they've kind of made up a Discord name and tried to join the group, and it's pretty clear to see that they were just on to do whatever it was that they were going to do, but they had no interest in aviation or promoting the group in any way. But I guess I'm not really seeing rules on what you can call yourself after you join. But, I mean, if it's just something you're not comfortable with too, I mean, I get that. And it's certainly not, it's not a mandatory thing that you are a part of the Virtual USA Flying Club to fly these events either. So that's I don't want you to think that you have to be a part of the club, because you don't. Anyone is welcome. Okay, so there's that first little valley we need to be descending by then. So I do think I'm just going to use this waypoint here as my descent point. Now, if we were, this is kind of an interesting section of this route. You would descend to 7,500, then you would check in with tower. You would get your clearance, and then you'd have to actually come back up to 8,000 to transition the delta. And then after transitioning the delta, then we're gonna maintain 8,000 for a little while, and then eventually we'll be back up to 9,500. So you'll need to, are you saying then that you need to register with VATSIM and get an account set up? Is that what you mean? Because VATSIM will generate, it's called the CID. It'll just auto-generate that, and that's just what you use to log into VATSIM. And then as far as your registration number, you'll need to pick one that's, as I look at yours, I think it's too long. I don't know how long it can be, but I think it needs to be something that would be a regulation tail number. So you might need to somehow shorten that down in some way, shape, or form. Just so it has a legit plane registration number. So many rules and regulations, right? 7 carat. That's a great question. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Mine's only 6 characters, and I mean it starts with the November because it's registered in the United States. But you know, we have plenty of, like, here's some examples of some of the tail numbers that we have right now in the flight alone. A lot of Canadian ones, a lot of Novembers, as you would expect. And well, actually, now that I say it, I'm not seeing any Canadians, but honestly, I mean, I don't think you have to have a November tail number. That's definitely not anything that I've ever read that has to be, you know, a mandatory thing. I do know we've had plenty of guys that have flown with Canadian or even European tail numbers, which is, you know, like I say, I think that's just fine. All right, we're going to descend, so we need to cut some power and get ourselves down to 9,500. Oh, I was going to put in Grand Canyon 13.1. Let's put that in here real fast. Yeah, let's see if we can get a DME. Can we get a DME here? Might just have to use the glass here. Speed is too fast. Let's slow down here. So we will make a call at the square, and then it does not look like I have the ability, unfortunately. I guess I could track, and I really can't because I need to keep it on GPS mode. I could bring that guy over here, I guess. What was it again? 13.1 for right side view setup. Let's put it in here and see. We'll change this CDI. Make sure, oh, that changes both of them. Darn it, I can't do that. All right, hold on, CDI. All right, got to get back on track. Get back on course. All right, that'll be all right. We'll just visually do it, and we'll be okay. So this little stretch of canyon is kind of the southern tip of
Grand Canyon traffic, Centurion 121 Zulu Alpha over the square.
Supai South, South Supai Canyon.
217 Bravo Golf, eastbound, Black.
Okay, so we are down at 7,500. Oop, our speed has dipped a little bit low. We're coming up on the square. Let's get our speed leveled off here, stabilized first, and then we will make our radio call, and then we'll head to the south. I will just use my heading mode to vector us around here. November Bravo Kilo 507, yeah, I think that would work. I am definitely not the expert in registration numbers, but that, to me, that's 6 characters. I mean, I think that'd be all right. In real life, you need a November, even though it's never used in talking with ATC. Huh. I always use it when I make my initial check-ins. Grand Canyon traffic, Kodiak 816 over the square, 7,500 on the blue route. Blue direct south, I should have said. All right, blue direct south. Let's vector us.
Cardinal 21 Delta Alpha, Supai Canyon 7,500 blue route.
Oh, I forgot to check in Supai Canyon. Kakata. Well, rats. Again, I'm doing about every other thing correct, Kenny, so. I don't know. Well, we're not going to bust this Delta airspace. If nothing else, we're gonna stay well south of that 10-mile DME, which is essentially the extent of the airspace. The airspace is kind of a little bit closer than 10 miles. Excuse me. Yeah, and I mean, I actually did that myself, Kenny, as I had a tail number that I kind of liked from a plane. I think it was 516 Delta Mike or something like that. It was from the A to A Cessna 182, and that's kind of what I registered with. And then I found out I actually came across my grandpa's tail number, which is the November 11816 that I'm using now, and I just reached out to Mike and said, hey, do you mind if I change that? And he said, yeah, no problem. All right, so we should actually be having I think you can see the airfield over there. There's some lights. That might not be the airfield. That might just be some reflections. But the cool thing about this event here is that we're strung out far enough that we might actually have some guys coming into land. Let me show you. Yeah, I actually think we might. We've got some guys coming around. Nope, there's the lead horse. Sean is the guy that came up with the route, and 4, 5, 6, 7. We're 7th. I know we had more than this. We had a couple guys that had some issues with their X-plane. A lot of guys are wrestling with their pilot client right now, and X-pilot in itself is giving folks a lot of difficulty when it comes to CSLs. So hopefully they're not fighting that. I know I've had that happen to me quite a bit lately, where I'll just all of a sudden be completely bumped out of X-pilot. The only thing I can trace back in the log is CSL errors from X-pilot. So, all right. Here's, by the way, I didn't really show you a Vatastic map tonight. Looks like most of the action, as you would expect. Down here in the south, there is a Southern Showdown or something to that effect. Look at Atlanta. Is Atlanta part of this? No, they're not. They just have 50 and 50. Wow. Just a... Maybe they don't have the airfields. I guess they don't have the airfields listed that are part of the event, but it's a bunch of southern airports that are all handling traffic. I really like the fact that the VATSIM guys have kind of responded to some of the issues.
November 21 Delta Alpha, beam the square, transitioning the Delta to the south, 8,500.
Anyway, that have come up with some of the FNOs that have occurred during the COVID crisis. But you can see there's some Montreal, Moncton, Gander online, a little bit of activity down here in South America. By the way, we'll be in South America. We'll be right here at Mariscal Scura International Airport in Quito, Ecuador on Saturday. We're going to be flying from Quito back up to Miami as a part of the Fine Air historic route. Europe, Asia, Africa, they've gone to bed. This is the only show in town right now in the VATSIM world. You're be there or be square, I guess. Okay, well, we're going to come all the way around here and try to pick up. We won't be on SV53, but we'll be the next one. So we're staying well clear of everything, which is absolutely fine. Giving folks plenty of room. Boy, the weather has starting to get a little bit nastier. We're going to run into some rain.
Grand Canyon traffic, November 270 Zulu is just south of the river, maneuvering towards the siding, enter.
I cannot see anything currently other than just moisture, sorry, cloud layers, but looks like there's some precip there. Temperature's still staying up though, so that's the main thing. Alright, we're back heading eastbound now, and
Affirmative, thank you.
yep, still no tower here at Grand Canyon. So it's going to be center as we make our way in.
On Unicom, frequency and aircraft planning land at Grand Canyon National Park Airport. We'll be able to use Unicom if the center has been advised.
Oh, okay. We'll just use Unicom then. I'm gonna go just make sure that's what I just heard. Hey, just confirming. It sounds like Center wants us just to use Unicom for Grand Canyon.
Yep. Yep, we got the approval.
He's saying he doesn't have any radar out here, and since there's nobody that they can find to go on the tower, we're just gonna stay 22.8 the whole way.
All right, sounds good. I just was double checking. Thank you.
No problem.
All right, we'll bump it here. Yeah, it looks like we could do. Looks like we could pick up 54. Cutting this corner may be a little tight, but that's okay. And that's definitely our airfield. I feel like those are lights and they're not just kind of reflections of the sun bumping off of things. How's our speed? By the way, I haven't checked that for a while. Ooh, right on the dot. Let's back it off a little. Excuse me, a little bit here. Have some wiggle room.
Grand Canyon traffic, Cardinal 3270 Zulu, subsiding, enter right downwind 21, Grand Canyon traffic.
Boy, I do. As much grief as X-Pilot has been giving me lately, I still do really love the new voice Unicom that VATSIM has set up. It's pretty awesome. The folks at POSCON, though, I think have a little something going too that could really be a nice alternative. I've been able to mess around a little bit in that pilot client as well, and that's got some things that are they could, especially for GA guys like we are, they could really change the simming experience. Ooh, boy, it does. It looks like it's getting ugly out. Yeah, downwind.
Grand Canyon traffic, Cardinal 3270 Zulu, entering right downwind.
I have no idea
1 to Grand Canyon.
how that happened. I mean, by the way, I thought you were streaming tonight. The Southern Showdown, that's what it's called. Yeah, downwind, the last thing when we checked in there by the drop-in point there at Pierce Canyon or whatever, I was a full 10 miles behind him. And then the next thing I know, I was buzzing right over the top. And
Grand Canyon traffic, Cardinal 70 Zulu, right.
The only thing I can think of is
Grand Canyon traffic.
I'm wondering if there was just a little bit of a difference in sim speed. I don't know. He was lagging a little bit. It's hard to tell. I don't know, but anyway, yeah, I never saw him, and if he wouldn't have reported me, I probably still wouldn't know that that's what had happened. All right, we're looking for.
Zulu, final 2-1.
What did I say?
Full stop, Grand Canyon.
54 is what we want. 54. direct, enter, and nav. So, alright, at this point, as you can see, our terrain is coming up. And it's time for us to begin a climb up again. Eventually we'll be at 9,500. So I'm just going to go ahead and we'll just nose up here about 500 foot a minute. We'll call it good there.
Grand Canyon traffic, Centurion November 7 Papa Mike over at the siding, inbound to land. We'll enter a right downwind for 2-1. Grand Canyon traffic.
Speed's getting a little bit low, so we'll put a little bit more power into it.
Grand Canyon traffic, Turbo Otter 748 Hotel Sierra, abeam the square, we're passing the Class Delta to the south, eastbound.
Well, these radio calls are way better than mine.
Grand Canyon traffic, Cardinal 410, Hotel Alpha, taking runway 21.
So I think this is considered, I don't think this is Tex X Meadow. I think this is Grandview Tower. We're going to call it Grandview Tower. And we're starting to get some more daylight. Hey, all right. I'm liking that.
Grand Canyon traffic, Cardinal 702 is clear 213.
Ralph U.S. McGee, this is the one and only Branda Kodiak Quest.
Runway 21 for departure.
Fully cargo pod and wheel fairings enhanced tonight.
So the rest of the traffic clears Grand Canyon.
Grand Canyon traffic, Centurion 7 Papa Mike is
Good to see you, by the way, Ralph.
for runway 21, touch and go.
Just about to get into another scenic part of this tour. We kind of were out on the flats there, but it's going to get nice and pretty here in just a little bit. Oh, there we go. There's some of that low-lying cloud action. Okay. I don't know what's going on here. Yeah, you put the cargo pod on there and it does. It looks a little funny. It is a definite bush pilot workhorse type of airplane, man. It's built for utility and not necessarily for looks. The thing can really go. You can get there in a hurry and haul a lot of stuff with it. Okay, I need to check in here. Grand Canyon traffic, Kodiak 816 over Grandview Tower on the black route. 8,500 on the climb.
Grand Canyon traffic, November 7 Papa Mike, final runway 21, touch and go. Grand Canyon traffic.
Ooh, touch and go. Where's he going?
Grand Canyon traffic, Cardinal 410 Hotel Alpha, left crosswind departure, Grand Canyon.
I wonder where they're going. Those guys going back to the, I wonder, let's check in, let's see. Whoops, don't do that. Don't know how to run Discord. Are those guys thinking about heading back to the original airport?
Grand Canyon traffic, Centurion 1212 Alpha over Nickel Mesa, 8,000 climbing, Black Room. Number 317, Bravo Golf. Dragon Bravo, 9,500 Black Room.
Alright, I don't know. Sorry about that, didn't mean to have that up there, but look at that. Wow, how beautiful is that, guys? Holy Moses.
Grand Canyon traffic, Centurion 7 Papa Mike, runway 21 on the go. Entering right downwind.
Wow, 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 wow. Come on. That's ridiculous. That is absolutely awesome. Absolutely awesome. Good job, ortho scenery guy. Okay, so up we go. We're maintaining speed. Oh, we're actually leveled out here, which is where we need to be. So I'm going to pull my torque back a little bit.
Centurion 7, Papa Mike, right down when runway 21, full stop, Grand Canyon.
Okay. That's what we're planning on doing. Full stop. Grand Canyon. We're going to go right around. I should show you. I haven't updated you here in a little while. So we came to the square. We flew around this. We transitioned the delta basically. We came back out actually right about here, Grandview Tower. Now we're heading up this. We're now on the. It's called the Black Routes. We're going to be heading up here, and we do have a Temple Butte check-in, and we don't have to check in the Little Colorado. That's if you're coming in from this way. But we've got a couple of check-ins that we have to take care of. We're at 9,500 for pretty much the rest of the route until we start coming down here. And when we get to Tower of Ra, we descend 8,500. We make a check-in at the river.
Turbo Outer 748 Hotel Sierra, just past 10X Meadow on the Black Route, 9,000.
And this would be when we would check in, if we had ATC, this is when we'd be checking in with Grand Canyon National Park Tower. But it's all going to be, as you heard, Unicom communications from here on out. Well, that's tough to beat right there. That's pretty dang cool.
Grand Canyon traffic, Century 7 Papa Mike, short final, runway 21, Grand Canyon, full stop.
Alright, so we do IMS Zuni Alpha. Grand Canyon traffic, Kodiak 816, Zuni Alpha on the Black Route, 9,500. We're actually a little farther north than Zuni Alpha, but we're pretty close to that. When we make this turn at 56, I'm going to call that.
9,500. Black Route.
What is that? Temple Butte. That's what that is. So we'll make that Temple Butte call here in just a little bit.
Grand Canyon traffic, Century 7 Papa Mike's clear, runway 21, Grand Canyon traffic. Grand Canyon traffic, Turbo Outer 748 Hotel Sierra, just past Grandview Tower on the Black Route, 9,000.
Cessna 34 Quebec, Dragon Bravo 9,500 Black Route.
I actually should be 9,000 right now.
Grand Canyon traffic, Aero 9 Juliet.
Yeah, so look at that altitude. I should be 9,000.
On the Black Route, 9,500.
Oops. Alright, well, we'll keep our eyes peeled for traffic, I guess. Okay, here we go. This is Temple Butte. As soon as we start to make that turn, I'll check in. And, yeah, I would say this is getting pretty scenic.
Alpha climbing 9,500.
Grand Canyon traffic, Kodiak 816, Temple Butte, Black Route 9,500.
Grand Canyon traffic, Turbo Outer 748 Hotel
We need
Sierra.
one more of those, don't we?
Just passing Zuni Alpha, 9,000 Black Route.
Okay, so we've got a loop that we're going to make. Yep, a little bit of a horseshoe, and come out of that horseshoe. Nankoweap Mesa, I think, is right up here where we make this call, about 63. Nankoweap Mesa.
Grand Canyon traffic, securing 121 Zulu Alpha.
63 or 64.
9,500 black.
Grand Canyon traffic, Air 9 Juliet Whiskey, westbound at the split.
Boy, the weather just can't make up its mind what it wants to do right now. Active Sky keeps loading things in. I almost need to think a little bit about some interior lighting here. What do I have? Instrument panel. Yeah, let's get that turned on. Let's get the switches turned on here as well. That probably will do us for now. I do think we have some overhead lighting if we need it. Yep, if we need it, we'll turn that on. Alright, I think, yeah, we'll get up here about 63 and we'll make that 63 or 64, we'll make that next check-in. We still are about 500 feet too high according to where we should be. What's our wind data here? I don't think I have that on. I need to turn that on here. Wind option number 2. I like. Oh, we're 12 knot headwind. And while we're looking here, ATIS for Grand Canyon is 2430. Have that ready to go here. Actually, what I think I'll do instead is I will tune it in down on number 2, 2430. And we'll see if we can have a listen to that as soon as we kind of get turned back around here and headed to the west. I think at this point in time I'll make my call. Grand Canyon traffic, Kodiak 816, Nankoweap Mesa, Black Route 9500. Let's see, 2430. Let's get that. Let's make that active. Let's see if we can listen to it. Nothing on right now. Might have to do the 2200. Is that Active Skies Universal? Let's see if that's Active Skies Universal.
Kilo Golf Charlie November Airport Information Juliet 0154 Zulu weather wind 248 at 5 visibility 10 sky clear temperature 19 dew point -0 altimeter 3005 advise on initial contact you have information Juliet.
Alright, information Juliet. And the key thing there is that winds are favoring an arrival runway 21. Looks like we can make a visual approach into that.
Grand Canyon traffic, securing 121 Zulu Alpha over Tower of Ross.
I need another Saddle Mountain here in just a second, I think. Right here is Saddle Mountain. That look like Saddle Mountain? Pretty good name for a mountain, I suppose. Tower of Ra, that's coming in. That's right before the river, which is kind of the last check-in, so that guy's out in front of us. Grand Canyon traffic, Kodiak 816, Saddle Mountain 9500, Black Route. Grand Canyon traffic, 7 Bravo Golf, right base. we're going to be reporting the split.
Grand Canyon traffic, Turbo Louder 748.
On the
Hotel
west
Sierra,
split.
Just past Temple Butte 9000.
Haven't heard the Cardinal check in for a little bit. All right, everything looks good here, boys and girls.
Cardinal 21 Delta Alpha, Temple Butte, Black Route 9500.
So it looks like maybe the Cardinal got passed up by downwind sim also. He must have something going on with his sim where he's running just a little bit slower.
Charlie is Zuni Alpha 9000 Black Route. Traffic, Century 1212 Alpha on the river. 8,500.
Are we coming up on the split? Yes, we are. Grand Canyon traffic, Kodiak 816 at the split, 9,500 on the black route. I think we're going to be getting to the airport at just the right time, guys. It's going to be Sunset City. Starting to really catch some colors on those bluffs, aren't they? Wow. That's pretty nice. Traffic behind us. That's really nice. Very cool. Next check-in here is Dragon Bravo, right before we make the turn. Yeah, probably about number 72. Okay, one last check here, guys. Just gonna brief the arrival together. So we're coming up on Dragon Bravo. We're gonna make that call. We're gonna turn southwest. We're gonna call out Tower of Ra. At Tower of Ra, we need to start our descent to 8,500. That's going to be our final altitude as we approach.
9,500. Grand Canyon traffic.
We will report the
Grand Canyon traffic.
I thought we had to report the river here. Oh, sorry. Got to report the river also. And 8,500 is what we want. We will come in, we'll report the sighting, and we will enter a right-hand pattern for runway 21, full stop at Grand Canyon National Park at elevation of 6,609 foot. And we do have an altimeter 3006. That's been what we've had all day long. No, it's not. 3006. Let's get that right.
Okay, traffic Cessna 34 Quebec turning right to base, runway 21, Grand Canyon.
Nose down a little bit to get the altitude back to 9,500. Slow down, slow down, slow down. Slow down a little bit.
Grand Canyon traffic, Century 121 Zulu Alpha over the siding, 7,800.
All right, so again, right before the turn, we're coming up here. We'll make that Dragon Bravo call.
Grand Canyon traffic, Aero 9 Whiskies over the river, 9,500 southbound. Last call, Grand Canyon traffic.
Grand Canyon traffic, Kodiak 816, Dragon Bravo, Black Route 9,500. Down the corridor we go. One last breathtaking view of the scenery. And then it's time to start thinking about
Grand Canyon traffic,
putting the bird on the ground.
2-mile final runway 21, Grand Canyon traffic.
Grand Canyon National Park information pop-up. 100 Zulu weather. Wind light and variable. Visibility more than 10.
Well, there we go. We finally got our Grand Canyon ATIS to pop in there. We don't need to listen to that though. Can I get it to switch? Come on, baby. That guy might keep popping
Grand Canyon
in.
traffic, Turbo Louder, 748 Hotel Sierra, just passing Nano Coweep Mesa, 9,000.
Easy for you to say.
I'm not from Wyoming. Grand Canyon traffic, Centurion 121, Zulu Alpha, right base, runway 21.
Well, they got you down here just about as low as they can, don't they? That's awesome. Tower of Ra, the river, final call. Tower of Ra again is when I start to descend down to 8,500. Might as well put that in here. We've slowed ourselves down a little bit, that's okay.
Grand Canyon traffic, Cessna 34 Quebec, clear of runway 21, taxiing to the terminal. Grand Canyon traffic.
Grand Canyon traffic, Aero 9 Juliet Whiskey.
Tower of Ra, there's the river.
8 miles to the west, passing the ranch. I will be joining the right downwind for runway 21. Grand Canyon traffic.
The ranch. Where the heck is the ranch? Red Butte, the quarry, the square. Oh, he's out here at the ranch. Okay, so he might be somebody we got to keep an eye on. All right, so he just checked in. Sorry, he's out here at the ranch. We're up here at Tower of Ra.
Number 124, Mike
So
Charlie.
he
Temple
may be
View,
somebody we have to kind
9,000
of
Blackbird.
coordinate with here. Keep our eyes peeled for him. We've got every light we can on right now, so we should be as visible as we can, and we're slowed down a little bit, so we should be able to give him plenty of time to get into the pattern. Got the hiccups now. That's not good. Yeah, Ortho did a pretty good job with rendering this, didn't it? I mean, there's a few things that look a little weird, but overall, definitely the farther away you get, the nicer it looks.
Turbo Louder, 748 Hotel Sierra, at the split, westbound on the black route, 9,500.
All right, I need to check in here. Tower of Ra. Grand Canyon traffic, Kodiak 816, Tower of Ra, 9,500 black route. Time to start to descend, my friends. We'll just do a gentle 500 feet per minute. We only need to get down 1,000.
Grand Canyon traffic, Aero 9 Juliet Whiskey's to the west, joining the right
We'll
downwind
report
runway 21.
right here's the river.
Grand Canyon traffic.
We'll report the river. That'll be our last check-in, and then we will have to talk about when we get closer to our transition into the pattern. We're going to shoot for the sighting. That's what's programmed in.
Traffic, Centurion 121 Zulu Alpha, clear of runway 21.
Unless we have a bunch of traffic that we have to deal with. Is that a plane out there? Nope, that's just a little bit of a reflection off the side. Grand Canyon traffic, Kodiak 816 over the river, 8,500, last call. There's the airfield. We have it in sight. And again, the idea here We'll go down, we'll continue on this heading, we'll make a left-hand turn, basically approaching midfield, and then we will enter right-hand traffic pattern.
Grand Canyon traffic, Cessna Cardinal at split westbound 9,500 Blackbird.
Actually, I'll just update that.
Grand Canyon traffic, Arrow 9.
It just
Juliet
got
Whiskey,
dark all of a
turning
sudden.
Right base for runway 21, Grand Canyon traffic.
Alright, so that was the guy that checked in over the ranch, so he is well ahead of us. He's on the right base right now.
November 1249 Charlie, Vancouver Mesa 9000 Blackbird.
Speed looks good. Now some time for some approach checklist. We do have the landing lights. They've stayed on. Altimeter is set. Frequencies are set. We will get heading towards the airfield here, and we will update our heading
Canyon
mode.
traffic, Turbo Otter 748 Hotel Sierra, passing Dragon Bravo 9500 with Black Rat.
We'd like an approach speed of 110 and a ref speed of 85 today.
Grand Canyon traffic, Arrow 9 Juliet Whiskey, he's turning final, runway 21, Grand Canyon traffic.
Alright, there's the guy that's in front of us, so we...
Cardinal 410 Hotel Alpha, W 8000 Black Road.
Update the heading. We're going to go into heading mode. I'm going to flip this guy over to VOR mode just so that I can set my VOR. And I think we're actually already on about 210, just so I can have a reference there. So we're not quite on the, you know,
Grand Canyon
perpendicular,
traffic,
but we're pretty close.
Delta Alpha, Dragon Bravo 9500 Blackbird.
And I'm going to hand fly this last little bit. We've let autopilot have all the fun so far. We're going to just do our own thing here coming in. Let's aim a little bit more at the field here so that we can... Actually, we could have entered in the 45 for the downwind, which is basically what we're going to do anyway. We're about at that point. Yep, I'd say we are. Grand Canyon traffic, Kodiak 816. We're going to be entering the 45 right downwind runway 21, Grand Canyon. There's our landing traffic ahead of us. I don't see anybody to our left. Be a little bit of an extended base turn for us, but that's okay. Give us a chance to get lined up. We're in no hurry. Okay, there we go. Take a peek. There's just the end of the runway. Take it out just a little bit further. We'll see what kind of a pattern I can fly here.
November 124 Mike Charlie, Saddle Mountain 9500 Black Road.
Grand Canyon traffic, Air 9 Juliet Whiskey, clear runway 21 at Delta.
Grand Canyon traffic, Kodiak 816, right base, runway 21, Grand Canyon. Okay, let's not get a whole heck of a lower just yet. Yeah, we're not bad right now, not too bad. We'll put a notch of flaps in. We're not quite at our 110. approach speed though, so let's put a little power back in. Maybe just, yeah, actually I don't think we're too bad.
Grand Canyon traffic, Turbo Otter 748 Hotel Sierra, Tower of Ra, 8,500, black route.
Grand Canyon traffic, Kodiak 816, turning final, runway 21, Grand Canyon. Ah, I overshot it.
Number 124 Mike Charlie.
Rats.
Split west, 9,500 black route.
Okay, well, we've got plenty of room here to correct. We're a bit high. Second notch of flaps coming in. Might be a little bit long on this one, guys, but we'll get there. Well, I kind of overcorrecting, kind of doing the S-turn thing here.
Grand Canyon traffic, Turbo Otter 748 Hotel Sierra, the river, black route, 8,500, last call.
Ended up a little high still.
Grand Canyon traffic, Cessna Cardinal 21 Delta Alpha, Tower of Ra, 8,500, black route.
A little bit long, but not too bad. Whoa. A bit wiggly there. Alright, welcome to Grand Canyon. We took off at Grand Canyon West and we ended up at Grand Canyon. Well, this is municipal or regional. But we are off on Echo. Grand Canyon traffic, Kodiak 816, clear of runway 21 on Echo. And all things considered, I'll take it. Oh, and then the sun's going to come back out. Well, what do you know? Let's see, I need a good view down here. Taxi lights, landing lights off. Taxis will stay on. Don't ask me why we're going so slow. Trying to add some power in here. There we go. We'll be able to see maybe Ralph or somebody on the final here.
Grand Canyon Cessna Cardinal 21 Delta Alpha over the river, black route, last call.
Well, thank you so much, you guys, for coming in. I tell you what, this was a blast. And definitely mistakes were made. It's something I honestly would need to practice many, many times to feel good about. Apparently, in real life, you actually have to be certified by the FAA for each one of these routes. So it's not surprising that I messed up a little bit of it, or, well, half of it. That's just kind of to be expected, but no major mistakes.
Grand Canyon National
We were able to find
Turbo Otter 748 Hotel Sierra is 10 miles to the east, inbound for landing. We'll join a right base or right downwind for runway 21.
we were able to find the airfield, get her down safely. So we will take that. And all right, while I'm taxiing in, let me tell you what's coming up on the stream. On Saturday, we're back to our regular streaming schedule tomorrow. I will be back in the DC-8. I'm going to be doing a long haul from Quito, Ecuador, back up to Miami. It's wrapping up the historic routes tour for the Fine Air Cargo Company, and looking forward to that. We'll do the same thing we did when we flew from Miami down to Quito. We'll split the stream, and we'll stream the departure and we'll stream the arrival, and we won't make you sit through. It's every bit of 4.5, 5 hours, so we won't make you watch all of that. But let's see, I'm gonna pull in next to these guys.
Turbo Otter 748 Hotel Sierra, right downwind, runway 21, Grand Canyon National Park.
I've got a little too close to them. We get parked here, and I'll tell you what's coming up on Tuesday and Thursday. Well, actually, I do know Tuesday I'm going to be doing a scenery build stream just to shake it up a little bit, and because Thursday it's a quick turnaround for the Nowhere Fast tour. We're going to be back in the Cessna 150 on Thursday and knocking out another leg of the Nowhere Fast tour. So if you're interested in scenery development, Tuesday's stream will be all about that, and would love you to pop in there, especially if you know what you're doing. You could give me some hints. I would appreciate it. Hey, Kenny, you should have been able to keep that back brace in the closet, man. That was a pretty good landing for me, my friend. Pretty darn good. That's the best one you've seen probably in about 2.5 weeks or so. So yeah, that's the next group of flights coming up for me, and yeah, hopefully you'll be able to join me. It's been a lot of fun, without a doubt. We'll turn that off. Sorry about that, guys. I think everything else that makes electricity has been turned off. Oh, I do need to turn the instrument and switch panel lights off. Okay, now we can go ahead, turn the engine off. We'll cut the master battery, and we'll close the fuel. Maybe. All right. Well, Ralph U.S. McGee, thanks for being here, man. It's always more fun when I've got guys hanging out, giving me a hard time. Let's see if we can catch some of these last few arrivals here. Yeah, here comes our friend Downwind Sim. If I know him, he's going to grease it. And Mike Charlie is also in this mix. He's another really good sim pilot. And the Cardinal that we passed up is in there too. Sorry again about that, by the way. Our mistake on that. But yeah, and then I tell you what, as we're watching Downwind come in here, we're just about through with the month of May. It's kind of crazy here, but next Saturday, not this coming Saturday tomorrow, but the Saturday after that, it's the Cal Scream event, and this looks really interesting. They've basically they're staffing up a ton of airports in that California airspace, and they're providing real-world routes for you to fly. So we've picked up one from Southwest Airlines. We're actually going to fly the Zibo, and we're going to fly from San Diego to Sacramento, and yeah, it should be a lot of fun. After that, the following Tuesday, I'm still kind of leaving that loose. Yeah, nicely done, Downwind Sim. But Thursday after that, I'm hosting a Virtual USA Flying Club event. It's actually the next Virtual USA Flying Club event that we'll be doing, and it'll be down in Florida. It's called the Executive Treatment, and I'm hopefully going to be in the TBM 900. And then the last flight for the month of Saturday, it's back in the Boston Virtual airspace. They have something called the Great Cape Escape, and we'll be up there. I think tentatively the PC-12 is the aircraft of choice. So anyway, that kind of wraps up my month of May, with the exception of I guess, Tuesday the 26th, which I'll make sure to let you know what we got going on there. Well, that looks like maybe the last arrival. We will just simply fade out into the sunset. Well, or God will just say, you know what, that's enough sunset. Let's find someone here to, who can we, you know who we need to raid. All right. Can I spell his name right? Let's raid Jet Pilot Cinnamon. You guys have yourself a fantastic weekend. Thanks again for popping in. I'll be looking for you hopefully tomorrow. And until then, take care, guys. God bless.